Well, hello, my YouTube fellas and gals. So, today, if you're new to my channel, I only use Bookstore. And I link everything to my Etsy. If people want to order off of me, you just get in touch with me by my email, which is tammysmakeuptreats@gmail.com, or Minna's Bookstore and more on Facebook. You can message me. Everything will be in the description below. Underneath that little arrow that's to the right side, you click the arrow and you'll have a drop down, and everything will be listed under there to get in contact with me. If you don't order off of me and you still love to read books, I'm also a resource center. If you have a Kindle or a Nook and you see a book that you happen to like, I read the synopsises so that you can go find the book that you want to read. So we are into action and suspense books. These are all softbacks and they're $2 each. And this is book number 1. And I also ship media, which is the cheapest way to ship books. This is called Lost City of the Templars. This is by Paul Christopher. It is a 2013 copyright. And I clean all my books and make sure there's no ripped pages and all that good stuff. That's why I have a used bookstore, to make sure that you get the best for reading. And this is what it's about. Retired Army Ranger John Holliday has thwarted the plots of Rex duo, the 21st century incarceration of the Templars all over the world. Now the lost journal of explorer Percy Fawcett leads Holliday into South American jungles in a Templar mystery. Trailed by an infamous Tomb Raider and menaced by a tribe of hostile natives, Holliday and his crew uncover a 500-year-old society hidden in the quadrant of the Amazon. Descendants of the Templar Knights, they exist only to hide and protect a holy artifact taken from the original Temple of Jerusalem by the first Templars, the legendary Ark of the Covenant. So this is book 1 of 10 that I'll be selling today. Book number 2 is called Chokepoint by Ridley Pearson. This is a 2013 copyright. Yes, this is my little cheat sheets in the back. Those are my receipts. And this is what the book is about. Private security firm Rutherford risks. New client is a philanthropist with a headline-making clause to locate and shut down an Amsterdam-based sweatshop that uses enslaved girls as forced labor. Enter import-export entrepreneur John Knox. With his former combat experience, the forensic accountant Grace Chu, who can trap and trace and even the most sensitive financial information. Working through the picturesque streets and canals of Amsterdam, Knox and Grace face Middle Eastern mobsters, the owner of a local brothel, and police officers they don't trust, pursuing one young girl who holds the key to their investigation, but is either too afraid or in too deep to help them. They encounter the dark side of a secret world where would-be alibis are enemies and the victims themselves don't want to be saved. So there's book number 2. Book number 3, we have Shadowmaker by James Hannibal. This is a 2014 copyright, and this is what the book is about. It's nice, in good shape. I'll tell you the book's flaws if they have any, if I find them. When a suicide bomber attacks the National Mall, former pilot and undercover Cerberus operative Nick Victor Barron receives an eerie invitation from a chess app on his phone. A mysterious figure named Emissary wants to play. Nick and his 777 chase unit are drawn into battle against an unknown opponent who has resurrected the legendary Hashashin Order of Assassins, and there is a long-awaited prophecy being fulfilled by a series of violent attacks which may consummate the final apocalypse over Jerusalem. The lines between the game and the fight begin to blur, as every time Nick loses a piece on the board, he loses one of his men. And if Nick cannot find a way to stop the terrorist mastermind, a checkmate may kill millions. Phew, that sounds like an Edge of the Seeker. That's book 3. Book number 4, we have Miracle Cure by Harlan Coben. This is a 2011 copyright, and this is what the book's about. They're one of the country's most telegenic couples, beloved TV journalist Sarah Lowell and New York's hottest basketball star Michael Silverman. Their family and social connections tie them to the highest echelons of political, medical, and sports worlds, threads that will tangle them up in one of the most controversial and deadly issues of our time. In a clinic on Manhattan's Upper West Side, a doctor has dedicated his life to eradicating a divisive and devastating disease. One by one, his patients are getting well. One by one, they're being targeted by a serial killer. And now Michael has been diagnosed with a disease. There's one cure, but many ways to die. That sounds intriguing. So that's book 4. Book number 5. We have Shadow of the Valley by Ralph Peters. This is what the book looks like. It is a 2015 copyright, and this is what it's about. In mighty battles, now all but forgotten, the summer and autumn of 1864 witnessed some of the fiercest fighting of the American Civil War. The desperate struggle for mastery of Virginia's Shenandoah Valley pitted a remarkable cast of heroes in blue and gray against each other. Philip Sheridan, a Union general and an uncanny gift for inspiring shoulders, and Jubal Early and his Confederate counterpart, stubborn, raw-mouthed, and deadly, the dashing Yankee boy general George Armstrong Custer, and the brilliant, courageous John Brown Gordon, a charismatic Georgian who lived one of the era's greatest love stories. From hungry, hard-bitten rebel privates to a pair of Union officers destined to become presidents, from the neglected hero to save the nation's capital, and went on to write one of the century's greatest novels, doomed Confederate leaders of incomparable valor, Ralph Peters brings to life one of the bloodiest periods of our grandest, most tragic war. And that, to me, is action suspense, because there's action and suspense in it. Wars always bring them. So that is book number 5. Book number 6, we have The Key by Simon Toyne. What the book looks like, it's got a little mark right there on the spine part. It's a 2012 copyright, and this is what it's about. Journalist Liv Adamson has escaped from a secretive citadel in the ancient city of Rouen and now lies in isolation, staring at hospital walls as blank as her memory. Despite her inability to recall her past, something strange is stirring within her. She feels possessed by a sensation she can't name and plagued by whispers only she can hear. Chokepoint, the key, at the center of the events that defy explanation and hunted by someone she believes is trying to kill her, Liv turns to the only person she can trust, a Foundation worker named Gabriel Mann. Together they must elude capture and journey to the place where all life began. From New York to Rome to the deserts of the Middle East, worlds collide in a race to uncover a revelation dating from the creation of man and this electrifying follow-up to the international bestseller, Sanctus. So there is book number 6. Book number 7, we have The Operative by Andrew Britton. This is what the book looks like. It is 2012 copyright, nice and clean, and this is what it's about. After more than a decade on the deadly front lines of a war on terror, Ryan Keeley believes he's finally put danger behind him and some of his demons to rest, but his calm is shattered when he's swept into a merciless terror attack during a charity gala in downtown Baltimore. Among the dozen of casualties is the wife of CIA Deputy Director John Harper. With normal channels of investigation obstructed, Harper turns to Keeley, the one man with the resources, expertise, and the freedom from government interference to pursue the awful truth. Following a string of secrets and violence, Keeley blazes a trail from the confines of the innermost chambers of government and big business to the dimmest reaches of the human psyche. Forced to match wits with new nemesis, aided by new allies such as each with a unique agenda, slowly Keeley unpulls an unimaginable conspiracy that suggests America may in fact be its own worst enemy. So there you go. Book number 7. Book number 8, we have The Last Patriot by Brad Thor. This is a 2008 copyright. It's got a little bendage here. A little bit of writing up in there. So like around the edges of the pages looks a little aged. And this is what it's about. June 6th, 32 AD, the Prophet Muhammad shares a final and startling revelation with days he's assassinated. September 1789, Thomas Jefferson uncovers a conspiracy that could change the face of Islam. Present day, men still killed to keep the secret hidden. When a car bomb explodes outside a Parisian cafe, counter-terrorism operative Scott Harva is thrust back into the life he has tried desperately to leave behind in a race to uncover an ancient secret with the power to stop militant Islam. Harva will risk everything to reclaim Muhammad's final revelation and defeat one of the deadliest evils in the world has ever known. This little bit right there, too. So that is book number 8. Book number 9, we have Death Benefit by Robin Cook. This is a 2011 copyright. Book's in good shape. There's the author. So that means the synopsis is here. Pia Grazdani is an exceptional yet aloof medical student working closely with Columbia University Medical Center's premier scientist on a cutting-edge research that could revolutionize healthcare by creating replacement organs for the critically ill patients. But when tragedy strikes in the lab, Pia, with the help of classmate George Wilson, launches an investigation to the unforeseen calamity in the hospital's supposedly secure biosafety lab. Meanwhile, 2 ex-Wall Street whiz kids think they found another lodestone in the nation's multi-trillion-dollar life insurance industry and race to find ways to control actual data and securitize the policies of the aged and infirm to make another killing. As Pia and George dig deeper into the events of the lab, one question remains unanswered. Is someone attempting to manipulate on private insurance information to allow investors to benefit from the deaths of others? So there you go. Book number 9. Book number 10, we have Ghost Recon Chokepoint by Tom Clancy. Written by Peter Telep. This is a 2012 copyright. That's what the book looks like. And this is what it's about. The U.S. Army Special Forces are known for their highly specialized training and courage behind enemy lines, but there's a group that's even more stealthy and deadly. It's composed of the most feared operators on the face of the earth, the soldiers of Ghost Recon. When CIA agent operating in Colombia is kidnapped, the ghosts battle their way through rebels to rescue the man, but during the operation they discover evidence of a new Islamic fundamentalist group that's being backed by South American drug cartels and rebel groups. The ghosts follow a trail that leads them around the world in a struggle to uncover the group's true purpose, one that could mean billions to the South Americans, aid terrorists seeking to wreak havoc on American soil and cause economic chaos all over the world. But as the team chases down their quarry, they soon realize that their true foes have yet to reveal themselves. So there you go. The 10 books of the day. And with that, I hope whatever time zone you're in, you're having a great one. And I will see you soon. Bye.